What's going on, guys? Today's topic is pretty interesting. Okay, we hear a lot of talk about familiar spirits and necromancers, but today I'm going to go in depth and show you where these things come from. Okay, now there's a difference between a prophetess and somebody that can divine using familiar spirits. Today we're going to go over both instances and both scenarios so you can better navigate when you go to talk to somebody that says that they hear from a particular entity, whether it's the Heavenly Father or whether it's the spiritual demon Satan. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearkened unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee so to do.
Millennia, humans have been obsessed with the idea of death. How to delay it, how to prepare for the afterlife, and how to come back from the grave. Necromancy is the practice of communicating with and raising the dead as ghosts, and it has been studied, tested, and taught throughout history. Robert Masello, award-winning journalist and author, recounts the storied past of necromancy in his book Raising Hell, a concise history of the black arts and those who dared to practice them. In it, he makes it clear the individuals practicing this branch of witchcraft did more than procure bodies and chant magic words, although that happened too. For instance, serious necromancers were forbidden to eat salt or meat other than dog, since dogs were the creatures of Hecate, goddess of ghosts and death, nor could they glance at a woman. In medieval Spain, necromancy was taught like any other discipline, with classrooms constructed deep beneath cemeteries and mausoleums. From the undead exploits of medieval kings, 18th century gentlemen, and ancient rulers, Masello has unearthed long-forgotten tales of powerful figures who have turned to necromancers in times of distress. In an excerpt from Raising Hell below, learn more about the history of necromancy, and the story of Sextus, son of Roman leader Pompey the Great, who asked a witch to divine the future of his next battle with help from the spirits.
All right, let's read about King Saul and his dealings with the woman that had a familiar spirit. All right, this is 1 Samuel 28. And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for warfare, to fight with Israel. And Achish said unto David, Know thou assuredly that thou shalt go out with me to battle, thou and thy men. And David said to Achish, Surely thou shalt know what thy servant can do. And Achish said to David, Therefore will I make thee keeper of mine head forever. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him, and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. And the Philistines gathered themselves together, and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Then said Saul unto his servants, Seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her, and inquire of her. And his servant said unto him, Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself, and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life, to cause me to die? And Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spoke to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what shall I do. Then said Samuel, Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me, for the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David. Because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek, therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hands of the Philistines. Then Saul fell straightway all along on the earth, and was sore afraid because of the words of Samuel. And there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all the day, nor all the night. And the woman came unto Saul, and saw that he was sore troubled, and said unto him, Behold, thine handmaid hath obeyed thy voice, and I have put my life in my hand, and have hearkened unto thy words which thou spakest unto me. Now, therefore, I pray thee, hearken thou also unto the voice of thy handmaid, and let me set a morsel of bread before thee, and eat, that thou mayest have strength when thou goest on thy way. But he refused and said, I will not eat. But his servants together with the woman compelled him, and he hearkened unto their voice. So he arose from the earth and sat upon the bed. And the woman had a fat calf in her house, and she hasted and killed it, and took flour and kneaded it, and did bake unleavened bread thereof. And she brought it before Saul and before his servants, and they did eat. Then they rose up and went away that night. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards, to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards, to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Yo, this is an article I pulled up. It's entitled History, Ancient History and Death, Ancient Egyptian Magic. This is by Dr. Geraldine Pinch. Let me go down to the bottom real quick. It says Dr. Geraldine Pinch has taught Egyptology at Cambridge University and is now a member of the Oriental Institute, Oxford University. Okay. I'm showing you a scholarly article right here. All right, where we at? It says, from everyday healing to treachery in the court of King Ramses III, magic pervaded every aspect of ancient Egyptian life. Geraldine Pinch delves into the underworld. All right, magicians. In Egyptian myth, magic, Heka, was one of the forces used by the creator to make the world. Through Heka, symbolic actions could have practical effects. All deities and people were thought to possess this force in some degree, but there were rules about why and how it could be used. The most respected users of magic were the lector priests. Priests were the main practitioners of magic in pharaonic Egypt, where they were seen as guardians of a secret knowledge given by the gods to humanity to ward off the blows of fate. The most respected users of magic were the lector priests, who could read the ancient books of magic kept in temple and palace libraries. In popular stories, such men were credited with the power to bring wax animals to life or roll back the waters of a lake. It says, Statute of Sekhmet. Real lector priests perform magical rituals to protect their king and to help the dead to rebirth. By the first millennium BC, their role seems to have been taken over by magicians. Kayao. Healing magic was a specialty of the priests who served Sekhmet, the fearsome goddess of plague. Lower in status were the scorpion charmers, who used magic to rid an area of poisonous reptiles and insects. Midwives and nurses also included magic among their skills, and wise women might be consulted about which ghost or deity was causing a person trouble. Amulets were another source of magic power, obtainable from protection makers, who could be male or female. None of these uses of magic was disproved of, either by the state or the priesthood. Only foreigners were regularly accused of using evil magic. It is not until the Roman period that there is much evidence of individual magicians practicing harmful magic for financial reward.
At the end of the day, guys, you have a responsibility to guard your temple. Okay, do not let people in that have familiar spirits. Do not allow people like mediums, or aka psychics, to do readings on you. The thing is, if it's from the Most High and these people actually have the spirit of the Heavenly Father on them, you're going to know. Okay, they're not going to have to use objects to channel different energies to give you the things that you need. Right? That's a clear-cut sign to stay away from these individuals. But as usual, according to the scriptures, you always want to test the spirit to see if they be of God. And with that, shalom.
If you guys have enjoyed today's content, please feel free to subscribe, like, and share. Shalom.